So let's continue where we left yesterday. So yesterday we were talking about the overview of SAP, and we discussed what is SAP, what is the difference between a premise and a cloud-based solution. Then we also discussed various module in SAP, and we were talking about sub-module of SAP, right?
Yes.
So we have listed down somewhere on six sub-module, which is organization management, personal administration, time management, payroll, benefit, and garnishment. These are the module basically we're going to cover with your session. But there are various other sub-module also, which SAP HCM has. Can you tell me which other sub-module SAP HCM has?
Uh, Payroll, benefit, garnishment. Recruitments and training.
Yes, recruitment. One you have a recruitment and another one you said training. All right.
Yeah.
There are two module which is there in recruitment. One it is called recruitment and another it is called e-recruitment.
Okay.
Now the difference between a recruitment and e-recruitment it is recruitment is just a normal process where you will see when people they apply for a job uh, uh, you know, uh, and before that, there is a job requisition within the organization. It gets raised by the management, and HR people, they post it on a job portal. Once they post it on a job portal, from job portal, people they start applying, right? And then recruiter has to, like filter those resume and then call for the interview. So the first level of interview, second level of interview, and then the final interview, and then they release the offer letter. So all these process it is called as a recruitment. Now, what is the basic difference between the recruitment and e-recruitment? Now, with the recruitment, posting in the job portal, you can post it, but when people they apply, the resume does not come to job portal, from job portal to the SAP system. So in such cases, what happens, like the number of people they have applied, so you have to download the resume and upload it again into SAP system. So this becomes a very tedious activity. I mean, let's suppose you have posted for SAP HCM payroll consultant, and there are 100 people who have applied. So you're not going to download all those 100 resume and going to upload into the SAP system, right? So that
Yeah.
is where what used to happen, people they used to skip all these activity and they used to
Mhm.
only follow for the person who has actually been hired. Now, to avoid all these things, SAP launched with the e-recruitment. With e-recruitment, you can post it into the job portal, and all those people who will apply, their resume will also come and sit into SAP system, and from there you can process it, which means there is no need to download and upload it into SAP system. So that is what the difference between recruitment and e-recruitment it is. Then another module it is training and event management.
Yeah, even when, yes.
So training and event management is nothing. It's just that what you're doing right now, it's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing which is there for training and event management also.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
You're just getting trained on SAP HCM US payroll modules, the same thing, which is also there in the training and event management. All right. Other modules now, sub-module of SAP HCM.
Mm. Payroll benefits. Time management. I forgot actually. Yeah.
No problem. Then you have a PMS, which is known as a performance management system.
Okay.
Performance management system, which is also known as a PMS, but this is a very tedious module. Uh, One that for doing the appraisal, which is also known as appraisal system, right? Every year, every organization goes through the appraisal system because they have to, do the appraisal for their existing employee, whether they are performing good or they are not performing good, right? So that is where you will do all these performance related activity. Now, For performance related activity, you also require ESS module. When you launch the form comes into ESS, and that's where all the employee sees the ESS, and then they go ahead, fill all their data, and then with the workflow, it goes into to the manager, and whatever the process they have. So that is what you will see into the performance management system. So it's a tedious model, because many times that you will implement, but client actually they don't go ahead with the PMS, because it is a kind of there's a lot of process and activity which is involved. However, the performance module in success factor is very good. So they find it very simple. And now, because both the product, whether it's a success factor or SAP HCM, both the product are of SAP, right? So whenever somebody asks for the performance system, so success factor, what SAP does, they recommend always success factor.
Okay.
Another module you will have that is known as a ESS. ESS is known as a employee self-service. Employee self-service also we have discussed yesterday, which is nothing, it's just your intranet, right? Every organization, see, every time organization, HR people, they cannot communicate to the employee, right? So there has to be some medium through which HR people, they communicate to the rest of the employee. Like, for example, in ESS and intranet, you employee can see all the data of their own. And in case if there is some data which is wrong, so in that case, they can send a mail to HR and inform them, that there is this data which is, wrong. Another thing, it is like, if there is some internal training, maybe let's suppose you have already done some training and you want, for the rest of, and you can record those training. You want for the rest of the people who have missed out the training, you can upload it in some place where they can come online and they can check all those training. So ESS helps you to do all these activity. Maybe there is some important message from the head of a company, and so you want to publish it. So in that case, you can come and publish it into ESS, and the rest of the employee also, they will see all those messages. So in every organization, you will see maybe they don't have a ESS, but 100% they will have some. If it is a big organization, 100% they will have something where they will go ahead and interact with the rest of the employee. Now, similar to ESS, you have a MSS, which is known as a manager self-service.
Okay.
Now, what is manager self-service? Now, it is very simple, like for manager, there are certain people who are reporting. So if manager has to check what the employee is doing and what they are not doing, so again, they can check it on the MSS part. Through MSS, manager can keep a track on the team. But yes, there are certain confidential data also. If you do not want manager to see certain confidential data, so in that case, you can hide it also. But yes, if a manager has to track an employee, so they can always track it from the manager self-service. All right.
Okay.
Which other module?
Mm.
Then you have a
Mm.
travel management.
Oh, yeah, travel money. Yes. Yes.
Travel management is nothing, it's just that when people they are traveling from one location to another location, so that is a module which is in travel management. Then apart from this, there is a compensation module. What is compensation and how compensation is different from salary?
Compensation. Now, maybe the comp of leaves and all those
No, no, that will come into time management. Anything
time.
which is related with the time, comp off or leave, it will be part of a time management.
Time. Okay.
Okay, payroll is something where you have your earnings minus deduction, minus taxes, and minus statutory deductions, and whatever the net amount it comes, which is a net payment, That is basically, it is known as a payroll, right? But how
Yes.
much amount it will be earning and how much it will be deducted. So basically, you define that into your compensation. It is basically defining the CTC of an employee, which is cost to the company. You would have seen, if you have ever applied for a job, there is a, after you have cleared all the interview, so recruitment team, they have a slab. In that slab, what happens that like consultant level one, consultant level two, consultant level three, how much the CTC they're supposed to offer. Similarly, for the manager also, manager level one, manager level two, manager level three, how much is the CTC you're going to offer to the manager? Okay, so that is what it is known as a compensation. So all these detail, how much will be there, so that you define into the compensation.
Uh, it is like to can you explain it some more? I didn't.
All right, let's suppose the salary it is 10 lakh.
Okay.
Right. So this 10 lakh, you will define this, what salary component is going to come. You will define that into the compensation. Then
Oh,
after that, there would be earnings deductions, right? It will only, your payroll will only come after the compensation has been defined. How much you're
okay.
offering to a certain people. Let's suppose there is a consultant.
Okay.
There is a consultant level one, level level one, level two, and level three. Right. How much you're offering? Maybe for consultant level one, you're offering from 2 lakh to 4 lakh rupees.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. And consultant level two, you're offering from 3 lakh to maybe 5 lakh rupees. And consultant level three, you're offering from 4 lakh um, to maybe 6 lakh rupees. Right. So like this, you can see. So these are the CTC packages, right? Which you offer to a person. Now, similarly, not only just for consultant, even for the manager also. Like if you go and apply in IBM, you will see, there they call it as a band, like which band actually you are.
Okay, yeah. So
All
it is
right.
like
So,
how much they're gonna pay for a particular level of this.
yes, there is always a range. See, they will not offer anything, whatever the consultant will ask, right? There always has to be some range which is already predefined. At
Yes.
what level a recruitment team is supposed to offer to a particular candidate. So this is already predefined. And that is what, that's where the whole negotiation starts. That how much
Ye-
they will offer you, how much they will not offer you. In case, let's suppose, if a consultant level one is asking you for the more salary. So in that case, either you reject the candidate or either you take an
Yeah. Yeah.
approval from the management. So that is how the recruitment basically happens. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it.
All right. Then apart from compensation, you will also see there is a um, global employment management.
Okay.
We call it as a GEM basically, which is global employment management. But what is global employment management?
Hmm. From the name, I understand that it is like maybe on-site, offshore, all these employees.
Yes, yes. Maybe you've been hired in India and you're doing a project in some different country. Right. So now whenever you will be hired in India, so chances will be very high that you will be required to keep on traveling because India being an IT hub and so there's a lot of IT related project, which comes to India because India is a backbone for all IT related activity. So in that case, the company will send you to that client location and you will keep on traveling. So you're hired in India, but you're going for a project into different country. So that
Countries.
is known as a global employment management. Not just you have a global employment management, you also have a concurrent employment.
So
Now, what do you
these
mean by
sub-modules,
concurrent employment?
don't know, Ashish, that.
Concurrent employment is, within the same company, you're doing a two different job. Like, for example, there is two different project which is going on, and in one project you're working as a lead, and in another project you're working as a consultant, right? So
Okay,
that is known as a concurrent employment.
okay.
Then, apart from this, you also have a succession management. Now, what is succession management?
Mm. Succession means who's gonna be coming next?
Yes, very good. Succession means, like, for example, there would be various, band, it will be in a company, right? Like associate consultant, senior consultant, lead manager, and after that also there would be various level will be there. So in
Yeah.
such case, let's suppose there is a manager. Tomorrow, this manager gets promoted to delivery manager. So
Okay.
now uh, who will be the successee for this manager? So HR people, they always ask that manager that do you see from the people who are reporting to you who can hold this position? If they don't find any suitable person, then they go for the external hire. But if they find somebody within the organization, so in that case, it's a succession management. And let's suppose even if there is a manager who's holding that manager position, so somebody also has to be trained on all these levels, right? So that
Yes.
tomorrow, all of a sudden, if there is a vacancy comes, so company has already trained certain people on this, and they can take the job properly. So all these
Okay.
detail you will do into your succession management. Now let's see how many modules we have done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Uh,
8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
uh,
13, 14, 15, 16, 17 module we have done in SAP HCM. Okay. The whole
Yeah.
purpose of doing all these sub-module, it was that one, you should be clear with the terminology. All right. So that tomorrow when you start working, it should not happen that you do not know what is succession management, and because it will create a bad impression, right? So that is the
Yeah.
reason I have covered all these sub-module. And another purpose of telling you about the sub-module, it is just the way in SAP HCM you have a sub-module. In every module of SAP, you will find sub-module.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is another way, like we have covered your module and the sub-module part. All right. Now let's also discuss something else. Acha, there will be three kind of a basically project which you will get. One, it is known as a implementation project. Another will be support project, and another kind of a project it will also be there, which is enhancement. Now, what is the basic difference between these three kind of a project?
Like implementation is that we collect the requirements and everything, and so the configurations, whatever we do, and then
Right.
support means if any issues occur or if anything comes, then how we deal with that is the support.
Okay.
And enhancement means if you want to add or configure new uh,
New what?
enhancement and
If you're
uh,
enhancing something, that is known as an enhancement. We'll just talk about it. What is this? Implementation, it is if it is a completely a fresh project, right? Where
okay.
there is nothing
Yeah.
has been configured. So in this case, it will be a implementation project. Acha,
Yeah.
before we talk about it, let's also talk about it. What is the basic difference between configuration and customization?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, what is the basic difference between configuration and customization?
Configuration is like what already exists, and if we add something which is already there, but customization is like the changes that we need to be done. So according to the requirements.
All right, configuration it is fine, which is like all those standard thing what SAP already provides to you,
Yeah.
right? So you're just doing the configuration and you're just connecting those details. So that is known as a configuration. Customization is something when something doesn't exist.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yes.
it is not there, and you have to let's suppose tomorrow, government comes with something with ABC plan. Now, this ABC plan, it is not there in a system, right? And in this one, it is like, they have their like some feel it should come with Q, some feel it should come with A, some feel it should come with Z, right? So this SAP has not customized, right? So how you going to do that? So if some solution what SAP has not provided, because SAP will also take its time to give certain solution, right? And in
Yes.
case if the client has to, want this, so in that case they go ahead with the customization. When
Yes.
something
Yeah.
which is not at all available, and you have to do all these customization from the beginning. So, so who will do this customization?
The technical consultants like ABAP.
Yes, yes, the technical consultant who are known as a ABAP, right? Because they understands all these codings, right? So they
Yes.
are the people who will do all these coding and they will do all these sections. So that is what the customization is. Now, in your customization, let's suppose there are three field, which is Q, A, and Z, right? You have already configure all these things, customize it also, and you have maintained the data also. Now tomorrow your client says they also want W field also.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when they ask you for W field, now this is enhancement.
Yeah. Adding like new
Adding a
that.
new something, so that will be known as an enhancement, right? Because this is already customized, and after customizing, after 6 months, you require a new field, which is W. So that is known as an enhancement. So are you
And
clear now what is enhancement now?
yes. Yes. Got it.
All
Yeah.
right. Implementation, it is, when you're doing, if it is a fresh project, so combination of a configuration and customization, it will be required in the implementation. However, whenever it comes to customization, never encourage to the client because it slows down your system.
Okay.
All right. Few customization, it is fine, but do not encourage so much of customization into the system because it just completely slows down the system. So, and we will never want, the system to slow down, right? So
Yes.
that is
Yes.
the reason. And whatever, like SAP has been into the market for such a long time. So whatever the standard data which is required, and even the respective country government data also which is required. So that is all SAP has already configured all that. So there's no reason that you should go ahead with the customization. But sometimes, certain thing, which is not there as per the client requirement. So in that case, you can go ahead with the customization, but otherwise, there is no need to do the customization and you should not encourage this.
Oh, okay. So any kind of project or there will be so many clients, right? So nobody needs that. Like,
No, no, some client will certainly requires it, but only, see, obviously when they require it, they will discuss with the consultant, right? So only
yes.
encourage thing which is not there in the system. If something which is already available in the system, then don't encourage for the customization. So you will
Okay.
have to tell to the client that if you go ahead with the customization, it will slow down your system.
Okay, yeah.
All
So
right. So that is a
we must stick as much as possible with the existing configurations, not with the new.
yes, you should stick as much as possible with the existing configuration. Like for example, I was doing a project with the SBI Bank. Now this SBI Bank, they were not using any standard thing of SAP. Then
Okay.
what is the point of buying such a costly software? They could have developed their own things, right?
True. Yeah.
And then what they wanted, one of the requirement which I just tell you, they wanted, like if somebody applies for a loan, and there should be a link, and people they click on that link, they fill that data it should come into SAP, and then SAP decides whether they want to approve or reject it. If they approve it, again a message should go to that person, and then again if you require certain, so all these are, and there was a lot of process. So if you do all these things, it will just ultimately slow down your system. It will not help you in any way.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is what the difference between configuration and customization. And now what is support? Support is basically after the complete implementation it is done. Then every technology they will go ahead with the two kind of a thing. One it is implementation and another it is support.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So support starts when the thing implementation it is done and the product project has gone live.
Yes.
So
Yes.
once a project has gone live, in that case, support starts.
Yes. Yeah.
So that is where you see everything it requires a support, right? Because there is no consultant in the world who will be that great that, after the complete implementation, their issue is not going to come. Maybe it will, if a consultant is very good, then less issue it will come, but issue will come.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Certain times what happens, it is working for 99 people, but it will not work for one person. And that
Yes.
is where, whole R&D has to be done. So all these detail you will do into the support project.
Okay. Yeah.